Okay, so when the Vikings advanced in the playoffs, we're like, we got to get this guy on, and he's like, I'm in, and then he's not in because he's got to stay in Minnesota to sit in the same seat to watch the Niners and the Vikings game because clearly where he positioned himself is what put the Vikings over the top in the Superdome. He's one of our favorites. He is the comedian and actor and very funny man. Nick Swardson, how are you, Nick?
Hi, I'm this guy. You grab this guy. Yeah, so thanks for having me back, Rich. And yeah, I decided to stay in Minnesota. You were very gracious enough to let me stay.
Why would you say let you? I mean, like,
well, I committed.
You did.
And at the last second, I had my bags, and I was ready to go. And I'm like, hey, is there any chance? Because everybody was giving me flack for it. They're like, what? You're leaving? But you gotta stay because we have another game. So I was like, all right. Then my voice changed. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. So I stayed at my home bar, the Corner Bar in Minneapolis, which is awesome.
Nice
Hi to
shout-out.
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
And they saved me my same seat and everything. And so I don't usually buy into that like mysticism, but once with the Vikings, we've been so just brainwashed into like, like we'll have that great, crazy playoff play.
Right.
Minneapolis Miracle, all that stuff. And then we just totally buy into it. And then we're all in.
Right.
So it's like this wizard who's like, here's a golden castle. Everyone's like, no. And then the next week it's like, yeah, it's an igloo made out of turds. And we're like, oh, no. It just fools us every time.
The old turd igloo, huh?
Yeah,
it comes out of nowhere.
Turd igloo. So I sat in the seat, and everyone's so used to it. So it was just, we had a decent first half, and we scored that touchdown. Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs.
That was obviously
to
the
tie it up
backward.
at 7-7 because Jimmy G just stormed right down the field. First 15 scripted
Yeah.
looked like you were going to get the doors blown off you. And
I
then all of
know.
a sudden it's 7-7. And you might be liking that again, the whole Kirk Cousins situation.
Yeah, and then we go into the half. I believe, it was close. I think it was 14-10 or something.
Well, I mean, Jimmy G
10-7.
threw that pick towards the end of the half
Yeah.
to maybe make it a two-score game, but he couldn't do it because he threw a
couldn't
pick.
do it. And then we just never had a run game. I mean, that was a big red flag. I mean, if I weren't such a homer, I would have picked that outcome essentially because San Francisco's defense is just so good. Bosa's just horrifying. And we had no run game. I mean, it was just insane.
And that's obviously the crucial aspect of the team with Dalvin Cook.
It's a crucial aspect. And Cousins, I like Cousins a lot. He's a good quarterback. And but he's not mobile. And he does the thing where like he'll just collapse. If the pocket comes in, he's just like bye. Which is fine.
Goes into his own turd
safe,
igloo. He goes into his own igloo of turd.
Yeah, he goes. Turd igloo just enters it.
Turd igloo that might be one of our fantasy team names for next year.
Good.
That's not a bad idea. Certainly how horrible that we had.
Yeah, you can have
so
it.
So now, Nick.
Yeah, just grab it. I'm not here. You can steal it
But
from me when I'm not
here.
here.
Isn't that the world of comedy? But
no.
At least I walked through the front door.
There's no cheating.
That's exactly right.
Yes, but yeah, it was fine.
So now again, Nick Swardson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you literally sat in the same seat that you did to watch the Vikings win over the Saints.
Yeah. And then I was at the 49ers game. I was at the bar, and I showed up 4 hours early. And I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking. So I just sat there just like a weirdo. I was the only one there. And then just drinking water and tears. Tears on the rocks.
Tears on the rocks.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of people give Cousins flack, but I like Cousins.
Okay.
Well,
look, I mean, it was a fun season, and you got into the playoffs, and you got to stay with your friends in Minnesota, and
yeah, it was nice. It was super hot out.
We had to book somebody else last minute, and it's fine though. It's really fine.
Who'd you book?
Who did we book, Chris? Who did we book? Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he wanted he's a big Seahawks fan.
Oh, really?
Yes, we wanted to get somebody whose team was in the playoffs.
Yeah, I picked them too. I just really hope the Packers don't win.
Why is that?
Because I hate them.
I got it now, right?
Yeah, it's just because I hate them. That's the only reason.
But it's
a good reason.
So, but Nick, you're not one of those guys like they beat us in the division. We want to see the NFC North do well because if they do well, it makes it look good on us. No, you're shaking your head no.
No. I want them to never win another game ever, ever again. I hope they never win another game. We just really don't like the Packers. Chicago, I don't mind. Chicago's a great city. I have family from Detroit, so I don't mind the Lions. But we all just really don't like the Packers. They're just really just a horrid place.
So how quickly did you warm to Brett Favre then?
I warmed to Brett Favre one specific play. Everybody was very trepidatious, but Minnesota's so nice that it's really annoying. I mean, it's nice, but it's annoying. So everyone's like, oh, Favre? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. And then that play against the 49ers, it's just a bullet into the end zone. It's the most psychotic play. It was like a 55-yard bullet to win the game, to lose at the end.
After being down, literally, I know.
Yeah, it was insanity. And right then, I felt like I was converted, and everybody was just totally on board. It was so awesome. And he should have won a Super Bowl that year.
By the way, that play, I don't know if you've been able to catch any of the NFL 100 all-time team shows that was on NFL Network, but for the quarter, did you watch this too, Chris?
I did.
Favre brought up that play when he got into the NFL 100 all-time team show.
Really? Yeah, I bet.
Well, the way he brought it up is that when we talked about the confidence that quarterbacks need to exude in the pocket or need to exude in the huddle, and he was talking about this with Brady, saying how sometimes, though, we're just humans, where we'll go out there on the field and say to everybody in the huddle, okay, we can do this, but deep down you're like, we have no shot. And he brought up that total sequence where they were down the whole game. They had to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. And he's like going in the huddle, okay, guys, we got this. And he's thinking to himself, he's going along like, I don't know how we're going to do this. And then he threw that ball literally most of half of the field right into the back of the end zone, into the hands of a guy whose name I completely forget.
Greg Lewis.
Greg Lewis, who was like number 5 on the depth chart on that team's
literally
receiving list. He probably didn't even know who Greg Lewis was for like a month before.
No, Greg Lewis got cut the next year.
Yeah, he brought that play up.
It was insane. I mean, if you haven't seen it, look it up. It's just a rocket. It's really insane. And then and then we got taken out by the Saints, and that led to the whole mess with them.
That's right, in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, their karma is really great. I have a lot of Saints fans. I like New Orleans a lot. But,
well, I'm sure you do. I'm looking at your list here. You're not heading there though in the next couple of weeks and months. I've got Nick Swardson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Your next tour date is Tampa. Super Bowl weekend.
So my agent, Angel, he teed me up to be in Florida for the Super Bowl weekend, just in case the Vikings played. So I have that Sunday off, but I'm doing shows Tampa Improv that Friday, Saturday, 31st and 1st.
Yeah, but the Super Bowl's in Tampa next year, though. So are you?
What?
Yeah. So you're gonna
I'll just stay.
You're gonna.
I'm at the Tampa Bay Improv. January 31st, 2020 to January 31st, 2021.
In the same chair.
Yeah. I'll fly in my chair.
You'll be sitting there the entire time. Yeah. So and then you're going to the Shumash Casino here in Santa Ynez, California, the Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio, where I've got a big following, being a Michigan guy.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes the Super Bowl? Who do you think makes the bowl here?
I think it's really exciting. I mean, I'm really pumped for the AFC. What a crazy story. Both teams. I mean, Tennessee, and I picked them too, both games.
Come on.
Yes, I did. I'm so pumped about that.
You and the Vrabel family and the Derrick Henry family, pretty much.
Yes, that's correct.
So when they look at each other in the locker room and say, nobody outside of here believes in us, that's incorrect. There's Nick Swardson.
There's me, and I'm not a jinx. No, their story's great. And then the Chiefs, that was mental. I mean, Rob Riggle's a friend, and he was losing his mind.
Were you one of those people who's texting them when he's down 24-0?
No, I don't text people during games because it's super annoying. I get like tons of texts where it's like, dude, that first down was crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know. Just watch the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not, you don't need every play,
right,
you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I just left him alone. I definitely don't pile on people during a game if they're down. I hate stuff like that. But I mean, imagine going into a game and being like, okay, even if we're up by 24, we do not have this. We do not have this. All right. What a panic attack.
When the Texans kicked the field goal instead of going for it,
yeah,
to go up 24-0. I thought that right then and there. I'm like, oh man, like that does feel like a mistake. Like that just screamed to me. This could be something to bite you in the you know what. Even though it's insane to think that. But I did have
it's
to sit there and
not. I
think
mean,
that.
it just shows you how key momentum is, you know?
It's a fickle
how important. And it was so early in the game, too. They went up so fast.
I know.
Right away. So there was so much game left. And Mahomes was like, we got this. He was all fired up. We can do it. And you just saw the tides turning. And I saw when I was at the bar, the corner bar in Minneapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And there was one Houston fan. I was watching the game, and this guy, and it was just this dude. He had jersey on and everything. And I'm watching this guy, and he was really polite, and he was excited, and then just deflated. And I paid for his tab.
Did
I was
you
like,
really?
Yeah, I go, yeah, put that guy's tab on mine. I go, I got it. Whatever he wants for the rest
Is
of
that because he also was having water just like you, or?
No, this guy was going for it. I was like, if he wants a pitcher, a fireball, I don't care. A Jaeger fire hose.
That's right. He's up 24 and then he's down 20. That will cause any individual to reach for something a little stronger than water.
Drinking windshield wiper fluid.
Man.
I don't even know what he ended up with.
So so you think the Chiefs? And then
that's a game I don't know if I could call that one. Either team I like on the AFC. The Niners because they beat us, and San Francisco's awesome, and I just know Green Bay. Boo. Boo.
What would that be like for you watching a Super Bowl with Green Bay in it? That would be an issue for you? Like literally, would you still watch the game? Where you would?
I would.
You're still going to watch the
be
game?
in the bottom of a toilet.
Okay.
So they would have to put the TV over it.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll watch the game, of course. But I don't know. I just yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of like Sandler's a total superstitious guy right now, right?
Very superstitious. No.
Sometimes he runs through me.
He does. He just well, I mean, he runs through all.
And I was in Uncut Gems. A lot of people don't know that. I was the gem.
You
Yeah, I had to put on a jumpsuit.
You were the uncut guy?
Yeah, that was me.
Right.
That was me. I can't believe I was not in a movie with Kevin Garnett in it. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you could have
put
just
in all
thrown
his
me
mo-
anything.
I know, but so he did say if he was not nominated for an Oscar, he would make a movie so bad to get back. And he said it would be called Grown Ups 3. Can you give us any news
Did he
on
say
that?
that?
He did say that.
He said that he
did
would
say
get
that.
back at the movie business by
Okay.
making something so horrible and putting it out there.
All right, I'm in.
So
There, I just signed up.
there it is, Grown Ups 3.
Don't need to read it.
So there's no update on that situation? You haven't been reached out to?
I've just heard everything with
blush?
Grown Ups 3. He had talked about it, and then there was another script out there that wasn't approved, and then
Okay.
there was another one that just went viral that somebody wrote that I thought was a hoax, but I guess it's real, and I guess the script's really good.
Okay.
And like that,
Why
I don't
do you
know. Did you hear about that? It went viral. Some writer leaked it,
Okay.
and my buddy read it, and he said it's really funny. It's pretty hard R, but he's like, it's really funny.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
You never know with Sandler. I don't know what's on his
If
brain.
you could reprise any of your roles in any of his films, which one would it be? Nick Swardson.
I would say either That's My Boy, where I played Kenny the dude with the mullet, or Just Go With It, where I played the sheep shipper with Aniston. Those were both really fun. Even though I had to wear these crazy glasses that were like triple Coke bottle, that hurt my brain.
Okay. Well,
But
we can't have that.
those two are two of my favorites.
All right. Well, and I appreciate you coming on here with your jacket and you brought your spirit, man.
Yeah, this is
brought
my
your
old. I went to
spirit.
Vikings University,
Right.
and I majored in sadness with a minor in diarrhea. So yeah.
You are aware, though, that the Vikings are the first team in NFL history with 30 playoff losses. Are you aware of that fact?
I wasn't rich.
Don't shoot the messenger. I guess I shouldn't have said that when you actually showed up here. Do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, I'm actually here, Rich.
Do you have any thoughts on the cheating scandal in baseball? You want to? I give you the floor. So you said you were with Bill Burr last night at a.
I was with actor comedian Bill Burr.
Yes.
Lovely man.
Yes.
I've known him 20 plus years.
Yes.
And we always talk sports. It is podcast, and it was supposed to be like 20 minutes, and it was
Right.
like an hour and a half.
Right.
But we were talking about baseball, and it's just depressing because so many people are like, everybody cheats. And it's like, what?
Right.
Well, what if they just didn't?
That's what I'm
What if we
saying.
just don't,
What
like,
if we just
keep
don't
it-
cheat? Right.
Just a pure sport. But he was bringing up the steroid controversy when everybody was roided out and hitting, 80 home runs with
Right.
one hand. Everybody's like, yeah, new sport. And, it's just stuff like that is so absurd. And, it just go back to the way it was, where they were chugging whiskey in the dugout and chewing tobacco, smoking cigars. Just
Right.
walking out there vomiting. And
Betting on ponies.
yeah, betting on ponies on the side. Yeah, good Lord. Let's go back to that.
Maybe that's a throwback we all need right now.
That would be awesome. That could be another league.
No television sets, no nothing.
Yeah, the radio.
Right.
Like an announcer with one of those old-timey hats and a pipe and a bow tie. It's going back.
Good to see you, Nick Swardson.
Great to see you, Rich. I love you. Thank you for
right
your
back
patience.
At you. No, dude, come on. NickSwardson.net is how you can get tickets to see this man at the Tampa Improv Super Bowl weekend, the Shumash Casino, right in the middle of President's Day weekend. And then in March, Columbus, Ohio, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Salt Lake City, and so much more. NickSwardson.net, at Nick Swardson on Twitter, at Real Nick Swardson on Instagram. Join the followers. I'm following you, sir. I follow you.
Thank you, Rich. I follow you as well.
Attaboy. That's Nick Swardson right here on The Rich Eisen Show.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.